Okay, good afternoon all. Hope everyone is well. Arminas, how you doing, buddy? Okay, so right, we've had some news this morning, which has caused that bit of a spike. I'm just wondering whether we're going to hit some serious down stuff today. Looking on the daily quickly, we've been working up in this channel and we hit the top yesterday, and we obviously came back down and we've had a drop because of the news this morning. So we are really overbought at the moment. We've had nothing but up and up. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had a decent pullback today. So no more news now anyway. So let's see what happens. See whether this continues downwards or not. I'm just going to put that there just out of interest. So there is a possibility we could come down here, but we've got to be a bit careful. So Arminas, how you doing? Exponential, how you doing, buddy? So depends how you look at this. I mean, there could be, market is about to open in 1 minute, so could just be a bit of a spike in channel that. I kind of think it is just a bit of a spike in a channel with a break. So I'm just being a bit cautious here. I'm looking for a lower high stroke failure, because on the NQ at the moment we look like we're making a bit of a bottom here, so I certainly don't want to be going short on the ES at the moment, so I'll just keep an eye on that. Jay, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? Okay, I did come back later. In fact, I sat and watched the charts for ages, actually. And I did take a couple of trades on that other evaluation yesterday and passed it. And I also took one short on that PA, which was up here. Same one that Marco took, the lower high there. We had a big overshoot and the lower high worked quite quickly. So it was a funny old day yesterday. We did have a bit more volume in the end, but I mean, it was just odd, wasn't it? So, okay, market is officially open. Let's see how we get on here. So we're going to leg down one attempt, second attempt. Just a bit unsure at the moment. There is a possibility. Could still be in this downtrend. Bufas, hi man to yourself. How you doing? Chris, how you doing, bud? So it's interesting today whether we have, you know, a lot of times when we have this news, it recovers and it hasn't. We've had that initial drop, we had a bit of a pullback, and we came down further, and I'm just wondering whether we're going to have some more stuff today. I mean, we've, you know, every day, every other day, we're at new highs. So we've had, you know, such a lot of movement up. The market just doesn't seem to want to slow down. But that is today. We've obviously had a big drop from here, so we're going to come close to here. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when we touch this line, touch the bottom of this channel, because that fits really nice. But I wouldn't be surprised if we had some proper down stuff. We'll see. So there is like a double bottom there. It's actually Philip, how you doing? So looking at the NQ at the moment, there is a possibility that that could just be a channel. It actually doesn't look that bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. It fits multiple times on the bottom. And there as well. So whether we just, see it as a bit of a spike in a channel, something like that. So we got a leg and a leg. So it's hard to know whether we're going to recover some of this or we're going to continue on down. There is a possibility that that could come up to that level. We'll see. Just have to keep an eye on it. So leg up, 2 legs back, leg up. Let's see what happens here. Incidentally, this 80% off finishes tonight. So I don't know what they'll do tomorrow. I'm guessing they'll go back to 71%. So if you do want one while they're a bit cheaper, I think it's midnight Eastern time. I think I'll soon tell you. Usually, so I know sometimes they've done 4:59 Eastern time. So let me have a quick look. $14. So that's 9 hours. Yeah, it'd be midnight. 1 minute before midnight. In fact, I should change that, shouldn't I? Okay. Right, now what's going on? It's hard to know, actually. We could come up to here, we could come down, or we could just rock it on up. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to work out exactly what's going on at the moment. Let me have another look at this. Just nothing you could do. I mean, it could come back and break the lows of this, but it might not. We might just have a break and it could push up higher. So at the moment, on the Nasdaq, we've had this channel, we've had a break of it. We seem to be coming up in a channel, so it's quite hard to tell exactly what's going on here. So unless maybe, I don't know, maybe something like that. It's a bit too early to tell what's going on at the moment. We have had this channel. I think that's okay. I mean, you could argue it's a bit like this. In fact, that's probably a safer bet, actually. From a spike and channel, touch, 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 break, two pushes down to a new low, and we're reversing. So we could be coming back and taking a lot of this back. It's a bit early to tell, really. So I don't really want to be going short just at the moment because I'm not sure. I've got conflicting pictures. The Nasdaq's going up. And this is sort of had two legs up and we're coming down, but and on the daily we've literally come right down to the bottom of that trend channel, so it's hard to say. So I ain't getting involved here just at the moment, so it could backfire. So at the moment, this is kind of looking bearish, but the NQ is looking bullish. We've got a channel up here that looks like, I mean, it could come down, but it's kind of two nice legs back. I mean, it could push up again after this break. Two pushes down to a new low. We will seem to be working up in a channel. It's hard to know at the moment. So this looks like it could push up some more. At the moment, it's giving me, well, it's not really giving me anything in all fairness. Okay, so we've had a break out of that channel on the NQ. Wow. It's hard to know what to do here. Just trying to get a general idea of where I think the market's going so I can look for trades in that direction. At the moment, it's just a little bit unclear. We went a bit sideways and we had a break when we came back in, so you don't know whether it's going to bounce off here a couple of times and come further down. At the moment, see, the NQ's shown me something slightly different. We've had 2 legs back and we may come further up. So, just not sure at the moment. Are we going up or are we coming down? You're looking short, are you? I don't know. I just don't know. My slight concern is we've had 2 legs down, so second entry long, higher low. If we can get above here, then I'd say long, but at the moment it's a bit sideways on here, so it's just a bit confusing. I don't want to get stuck going in the wrong direction. And we certainly started off bearish. I think I should probably get rid of that. It's a bit dangerous. It could get you... What I will do is I'll just go from there to there. Even though you get news and these big spikes, it often still works. So let's just put this as an area which it may struggle from. Trouble is, even if I want to go short here, we're so close to these lows, you just don't know if it's going to come down. How far is it going to come down? This NQ looks like it's trying to push up. Big move down, setting the bias for you. Yeah. I've put that there because it's certainly an area of interest. I mean, we came close to it, didn't we? When we came down, we came close again. So that NQ looks like it's pushing up. If it gets above, there may be some stops there. It's hard to say. We're going to push up, higher low. But we're getting these stems, aren't we? These bigger wicks when it's getting rejected. So you just don't know. It may go sideways. It may sting you. So experience tells me just to sit tight at the moment. Even if I wanted to go short because of this, there's some support right along there. I just can't do it at the moment. We're very close to the lows on that daily. Last time, I mean, look where we are there. Where were we? Look what happened on the next bar. We're straight up. So you don't know whether it's going to hold here and whether we're going to get some sideways or it's going to come further. It could do a bunch of things, but I'm just cautious about going short at the moment after that big drop down. And I'll tell you for certain there's going to be some shorts in here, and I have a feeling this is going to push up and take out some of these short stops. So we got a leg down there, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. There, I'd say there's going to be some short stops there. I get why people are taking that, but to me, it's just risky as hell. That is. It's a weak position. It is a lower high, and I like the way it triggered above there and came down, and I reckon that's why some traders may have shorted that. But at the moment, I'm staying well out of this. So that's triggered as well. I mean, it could go up and make somebody miserable. Look weekly. Yeah, I'm looking at the weekly. Oh, the weekly. I don't know what's happening in the weekly. I got the daily there. But it's hard to say at the moment. Okay, so we're around about at this bottom now. 76 was last week's open. How was it really? I don't know. I got that many days logged in. You're about here somewhere, are you? Where are we now? Tuesday, aren't we? Tuesday, Friday. Friday, yeah. Yeah, so we're down to this level now, aren't we? Well, for me, see, because we've had such strong moves up for a while now. I mean, this is the daily. I mean, look at that. It's a fair old drive up, that is. We had that push up, then we had a couple of legs back, trapped a load of shorts there. Big push up. And obviously hitting constant new highs. So I wouldn't be shocked if we had a really good pullback, because we haven't really had one as such. It's hard to say, really, isn't it? I mean, this is all just speculation. It's nice to know what may happen. I just have a feeling we're going to get some really bearish stuff today. Just can't go short here at the moment, really. It's just not clear. I mean, there's always a possibility. We could do something like this. It's just hard to say at the moment. It's just not clear. If it's not clear, I'm just sitting tight. Sitting and watching and waiting. I mean, it certainly seems to be finding something here, doesn't it? Which would make sense of that line. Sometimes I tend to avoid doing this too early, because sometimes it can affect your thinking. So certainly could be something like that. We could have a leg down, a bit of a correction, and another leg down. I wouldn't be shocked. Okay, new lows for the day. We're going to have a break here. Definitely. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I'm just getting rid of that for now. I want to be thinking cleanly here. Let me have a look. See, at the moment on the NQ we're going up. We've had that channel, we've had a break, sort of like 2 attempts to go lower, and now we're pushing up, but no idea what's going on here at the moment. It's going to be sitting and waiting and letting it sort itself out, because it's a bit choppy, isn't it? It's a bit all over the place. There is a possibility after that initial big push down that there may be something a little bit less dramatic. Excuse me. Okay, possible second entry short. I just can't take it at the moment. Slight issue I have at the moment, we're going short, is let's look at the 5,000 tick chart. We're quite far from the EMA and we're at this level. We've bounced again, and we've bounced the third time, so we could move up. So it just looks like it's holding in an area. So for me, I think the best course of action at the moment is just to sit tight. Can we find a little bit of support there? So I'm just going to sit and twiddle me thumbs. So we have had a leg down here, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. I haven't reloaded my historic. Okay, 2 legs. Well, I mean, we've had a leg down, 2 attempts to go higher, so I wouldn't be surprised if this came down to the lows. I mean, we've got, I would say, a double top on this, so 1 attempt to go, 2nd attempt to go, so I wouldn't be shocked if that came down a bit. But it's just too risky for me. I'm unclear what's going on, so I don't want to get into a short just yet. The 4,000 tick chart looks like it's bottoming out, so it may work, but for me it's just too risky. For me it's just too unclear of what's going on. So if you'd have took that a tick below there, you possibly wouldn't have even got a point. It would have to push through. So whether that goes and stops it out, I don't know. Maybe may still come down, but it's just unclear. It's bouncing all over the place, really. So it could go anywhere. So you just really can't trade this, in all fairness. It's just too dangerous. I don't know what the bloody hell's going on here. May be right, may not be right. Chop City, yeah, it certainly is. I mean, the NQ looks like it's struggling to push up. We've had this channel, we've had 2 legs back, 1 leg, 2 leg. We've pushed up, made a new high. We've tried again and a 3rd time. I mean, it could continue up. It could do a lot of stuff. And while I got these unclear signals, it could do this, it could do that. I think the best thing to do, me personally, is just to sit tight. Because I'd just be trading based on a hunch. I like to have an idea of where I think things are going, but at the moment, I honestly couldn't really tell you. It really could go up or down. We do seem to be finding a bottom on the 4,000 tick chart. And at the moment, we're above the EMA. So hence leaving a trade like that. It's just not worth it. It may work, but I have a feeling it's going to push up and take any possible stops out there. But you wouldn't have got a point there. So it's just not worth it. Yeah, that 4,000 tick chart, we've had that initial push, we've had a little bit of sideways, we've come down again and again, and we've had, looks like we're just retesting, and it's holding along there, so you wouldn't really want to be going short there, would you? Not that I mean, it may come down, but to me, it's not showing me signs that it wants to go lower at the moment, so the NQ price is just going sideways above this. We've had that channel break and we've pushed up, made multiple highs. So this could come tangling down, or it may come down, trap some shorts and push up. We could have a bigger channel. Who knows? It's just not clear at the moment. It's clearly going a bit sideways. Certainly a lot more volume than yesterday. Okay, I don't like the price action at the moment, so I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break while it's doing this. I'm just going to make a quick cup of tea. I'd rather let it sort itself out and do something. So a few minutes, I'll be back. Okay. Yeah, it's not doing much. Channel down, break new low. Looks like it's bottom in there. I would say it does look like there may be a bigger channel there. Touch there, touch there, touch there, touch there. Sometimes it does this. It almost sucks in shorts and then off it trots. 6 touches of that spike and channel. It's still a bit unclear. I mean, we've touched, touch, touch, touch. Six touches on the spike and channel. Where have you got that coming from? You're on about here, are you? I just don't like anything at the moment. It's just unclear. It really could. For me, it's just shopping around. I mean, it still looks like it's sort of got a slightly bearish feel to it. I mean, at the end of the day, in my opinion, you just can't trade this stuff safely. I mean, you may say a bit of a channel with a break and a new low. It does look like we're testing this area down here. So I can't go short at the moment. I can't go long at the moment. I've got mixed pictures on everything, really. The NQ is giving me mixed pictures. Bigger pullbacks, yeah, it's just... There's just nothing really that's made me think, oh yeah, I'd have had a go at that. Trouble is, when you have quite a move like that, you sort of want to zoom in, but you want the whole picture as well. But the trouble is, as soon as you start to zoom in, you lose a chunk of it. So we got a touch. So I think it's as good as any. There is a lower high there. Trouble is, you're going into the middle of nowhere there. It could do bloody anything. We're way past the lows of the day. there's a bit of a range here. It may trigger your comeback. It's just, yeah, I just don't know at the moment. The NQ, it's just, I don't know, we had this push up, 2 legs back, push up new high, and we've tried multiple times. So you just don't know whether this may push up. It's just not clear at the moment. You know, I need a clear direction to trade. Trouble is, you might go short there, but the trouble is you're going into all that. I mean, it could work, but you got sort of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a bunch of touches there, so you just don't know. I mean, there is a possibility we could just do that. So we could. You may go short in. We could push off the bottom. So it's just... I don't know. I got mixed feelings. I'd say the NQ, if it is going a bit sideways, we may take off and push up. So getting into a trade like that, I think, is just too risky. But it could just come tumbling down. So it's just not clear at all at the moment. So I think the safest course of action, certainly for me, is just to sit tight. Just try and figure out what's going on. Indy, how you doing, my friend? Oh. Yeah, so if you'd have taken that one as a lower high, you're about to get stopped out. Trouble is, you can't take that because it's going into the middle of bloody nowhere. Where's it going to stop? Yeah, there. Who knows? Well, I hope you're the same. I'm all right, mate. At the moment, I'm in quite a good place at the moment. I feel quite relaxed trading, which is always a good thing. The more sort of stressed you are and unrelaxed you are, the more chance you got of doing something stupid. So my patience is okay at the moment. So long may it last. I'm trying Top Step Plus today. They sold new accounts 50,000 for only $4.5 USD. $4.50. Bloody hell. Top Step. You put an X in there. What is the X for a reason you put Top Step and X? Is that something new, or is that just Top Step? I'm assuming it's just Top Step, isn't it? Interesting. To be honest with you, I think the very first one I ever took, it was called the Gauntlet. It was about maybe 2.5 years ago. I forget who it was now, but they did something called the Gauntlet. Oh, it's the platform. I got you. It was called the Gauntlet. I forget what it was called. Earn to Trade. Web trading. Oh, okay. Oh, right. So it's not a... it's the platform. Right, I got you. I got you. Yeah, Earn to Trade was the first one I did. And then I think it was UProfit. And then I moved to Apex, I don't know, maybe 14 months ago, something like that. Okay, so let's see what happens when we get up here. So let's have a look at the NQ quickly. So we did look like we pushed up, went sideways to here, pushed up, went sideways, may have had a break and pushed up of a new high. So it's hard to say. You could almost say it's going sideways. But, you know, as we know, that's how sort of a lot of trends tend to work, really, don't they? Push down, bit of sideways, push down, bit of sideways, push down, bit of sideways, push down. So sometimes it's just a bit more obvious there. So it's hard to know whether, because obviously traders will be viewing this a certain way. We got a channel down here, break, 2 pushes down to a new low, then we got a channel up, we got 1, 2 proper attempts to go low and a strong push up. We do seem to be holding that line, and we've had a break and a push up, so it's still a little bit unclear. It could still be sideways, it could come back in. So while it's unclear, that's all we can really do is just sit and wait until hopefully something starts to look a bit familiar. But at the moment, I mean, you can see we clearly got some sort of a downward a momentum, but I don't know, it's just it's still a little bit choppy, isn't it? It's down a little bit, chop down a chop, and there's lots of wicks as well. Breck, how you doing, my friend? Is it a good time to buy now? To be honest with you, no, really. I'm not saying yeah, I'm not saying no. I certainly wouldn't anyway, because the overall picture at the moment seems to be down. So we do seem to be working down in a fashion. So I wouldn't be thinking of taking longs. I ain't thinking about taking shorts just at the moment. Or I love the fact that that's just turned there. If we can get a lower high. But in all fairness, I think you're probably best off doing not a lot at the moment. That's probably not a bad. I like the fact that it's done that, so I'll be thinking about a lower high maybe here. We've had a channel, we've had a break and a new high. We've reacted a couple of times off that line, so I think that's positive. At the moment, on the 4,000 tick chart, we've got right back to the EMA, so we could come up to the EMA and then come down some more. So, but it's also choppy. You don't know whether after this we get a couple of legs up and we're going to turn up. You just don't know at the moment. It is a bit choppy, but if all the stars aligned and we do get a lower high below the EMA, then, I don't mind getting in with a short trade, but you're best off just sitting tight at the moment. Been a while since I've been busy at work. Hope you all been doing well. Yeah, we're all good on it, mate. We're all good. Not only a lot of money, but we're all good. Okay, so this is interesting. So we've had 1, 2, 3 bars we've struggled to get up. 2 of them are dojis. So I have a feeling this is going to be one of those days again. Failed second entry short. Probably what Penguin is looking for now. So he's looking for a break, 2 attempts to go lower, and then he'd be looking to go long. My only slight concern is because we've had this sort of downward stuff, whether we do come back and, at least make an effort to retest these. But having said that, we had that sharp move, then something a little bit less dramatic, and then something a bit less dramatic. So it's sort of sharp, not so sharp, not so sharp, and then maybe we will get a push up, but maybe we'll come up and hit this area. It's just hard to say at the moment, but I'm always just wary about going long until we've had some sort of a break and maybe a new extreme, but you just don't know. It depends how you've got that channel drawn. I mean, that's the trouble with trading. Sometimes it's not black and white. There's so much grey area, and so much of it is up for misinterpretation. So, what I see, you guys might see something different. You might have nailed it with a channel straight away. But for me, I'm just trying to break it down in small sort of bite size, and maybe that's something. But we do seem to have a bit of a channel there. We've had a break and eventually came down and had a new low. And we've got a touch. Kind of fits, although it is scrappy. But there is an individual one there with a break and new low. So it's just hard to say at the moment. I've got it a little flatter. So had a break and 2 legs to a new low. So have you had it something like that, have you? The green one, something like that, do you think you've had it? It's hard to say really, isn't it? That's what I mean. If you don't get it right, you miss stuff. Reverse. Yeah, I just don't like what I'm seeing there at all, really. Okay, so that doesn't look too bad. Maybe just a spike and channel. Break tip. Yeah, maybe. Unfortunately, it is a break, but a very small one. So if that continues to go up, I'll just stretch that. In fact, I'll do it now because I have a feeling that this is just a little bigger. I'd expect a bigger break than that, and part of the reason is if I look on the NQ, it all fits in one single channel. It all fits in one channel, nice. And on the 4000 as well, equally. Yeah, see, there's the NQ. Fits kind of nice there. 4000 tick chart as well. So, but we are coming up to this area here, so you don't know whether we're going to go in sideways. It's just sometimes these markets, this chart's a piece of cake to read. Sometimes it's just so clear. The legs are really, really nice and precise, and other times it's just it's just completely confusing. I would expect some form of break around here. So we got a couple of touches there and a few there. So maybe this is it. Yeah, nothing we can take here really. Okay, so let's have another leg. Can't do nothing here really. I mean, you may argue a hidden second entry long, but I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like where it is. And not only that, the NQ was still quite a bit away from the EMA, so I wouldn't even consider taking a trade here. It could come down again. I mean, it may work, but it's only really one sort of break, really. You want a higher low at least. Another leg down would be nice. Oh, excuse me. Okay, hopefully here's our second leg. We need to get closer to the EMA on the NQ as well. Still too far for the EMA for me. I've taken trades like this before and they just sting you. Well, it didn't work. It's got to come back a bit further. It is a second entry long, but it's just too far from the EMA, and the bar's a little bit weak for me. You get a really good strong bar, people will trade it long then. It's got more chance of moving. So it was a set entry long. No one took that, did they? It's just weak. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's floating above that. It's just too far, really. Leg. Trouble is as well, we're still quite far from. I mean, there's no way on God's earth I'd take a long set up there on the NQ. For me, I think that's more likely to come down. So I just can't see how I can take it here either, really. It's not to say it's not going to work, but not only that, on the 4,000 tick chart as well, there's some support along there, so it just could sting you and come down. I get why traders might take that 2 legs back. It's actually a failure as well, but I'm concerned. It is a failure. I'm not a fan, I've got to say, at the moment. It might work, it quite probably will, but I don't like it. It's clearly congested. And I'm just not a fan. One of the reasons that put me off it is we're up here. It's just... I just can't take it. The fact it worked is a bit irrelevant for me, in all fairness. I still don't like it, even though I know it worked. You took it up to the highs, you liked it, yeah. My concern is it's sideways. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches there. 1, 2, 3, 4 touches there. You just don't know whether it's going to trigger you and come a bit further, and this ends up in a wider channel. It's just... and that concerned me that we were already up here closer than the highs. So I just, we've all got to make a decision, but that's what I mean. There's so much grey area, you just never know. But it's a bit too sideways for me. You took it, bounced off the EMA, second failed entry short, got 2 points. Good on you, mate. It is a failure, but my concern is it's a little bit sideways. And we've got this area here as well, where there's some support. Right, there was some sell orders there. See that pulled back quite quickly. Channel there. Two pushes up to a new high. And there was definitely some sell orders there. I just have a feeling we could get a quick move. A quick drop. Probably going to be some longs there. Although I think that's a weak bar. I wouldn't be shocked if this comes down quite quick. Second entry long there. I can just tell there's support across there, so resistance rather, so I'm just staying out of it at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if we had a flush down. There's longs in here, maybe some there. Maybe some will buy this. Let's see if that ticks up and comes down. There may be a bigger channel running there. There is a failed second entry short, which is triggered, but I wouldn't want to be taking that trade. After that, we got a new low. Try go once, try go twice. There'll be some shorts trapped in here, so it could go up. Hey Chris, how you doing, buddy? I just don't like any of this at the moment. It does seem like it may be moving into another channel, but I expect a flush down here. I do. There'll be some longs there, possibly some there, so I expect this to drop to at least here, maybe even to the bottom of here. That one may hold though. So if you took that one, you're about to get stopped out. It is a failure, and I get why people would have taken it. Second entry fell along. The trouble is I wouldn't want to go either at the moment because it's going more sideways. There is a possibility that there is a bigger channel there. So if it pushes up or breaks above these three, because there'll be some stops along there, no doubt. If it pushes through there, it'll have quite a bit of a push. There does seem to look like there may be a channel forming there. So I just have this feeling it's going to flush down. When it goes sideways and struggles to get up, it often has a quick push down and takes out some weak positions. I doubt they'll be there. There'll be some there taking the failure. So I'll be surprised if it doesn't break below there. We've hit it now, but we haven't broke below it. There we go. So if you took the failure, it's at your stop. Possible second entry long, but I don't know. I don't like anything at the moment. So if you took that one, you're out. Maybe get below there. Will it go below there? It's hard to say. But you can clearly see there's some support across here, and it's clearly struggled to get above it. Hugging the EMA, however, yeah. So, what I will say is I still think we may come down here. So, looking at the 4,000 tick chart, we've had that big push down. We've had one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, so we could come down. It's possible. Look, I just have this feeling. So, made one push up, second push up. I don't know. I mean, I'm only sort of, let's call it an educated guess. It's no more, really. But what it is more than anything is just choppy. Okay, so I expect that stop to get hit. Yeah, it's just completely flipping confusing. Green needs to pick it. Yeah, it needs to make its bloody mind up, doesn't it? I mean, to be fair, I think we should complain because this is appalling. This is. I think we should make a complaint into the CME group. Say price action today was appalling. Sort it out. In all fairness, it could go bloody anywhere, really. A lot of times it does that, flushes down and then pushes back up. Sometimes it just needs to take some stops out, gather a little bit more momentum, and then you agree as well, dear. There you go. There's at least 3 of us on the list there. But it's just not very clear at the moment. It's your guess is as good as mine. It does look like a bit of a bull flag. So it may push up, but I don't know. Trouble is, when it's like this, the simple thing to do is just stay out of it and wait till it gives you some clarity. You only really need one trade a day. I'll tell you what, if I could get one winning trade a day, if you guaranteed me just one winning trade a day, I'd snap your hand off. I'll be over the moon with that. And it's a long day, really. There's plenty enough time to wait for one good quality trade. The trouble is sometimes it's hard to put a number on. You know, let's say, for instance, a great trade, 10 out of 10. Crap trade, maybe a 1. You know, maybe a 6, 7 or 8, 7 or 8 or a 9. It just depends whether you want to wait for those. We all know those great trades because you can't click the button quick enough. You know, you're almost falling all over yourself trying to jump in. So we all know those really classic looking trades, you know, that we sort of that we look for. But it's waiting for those because, you know, there are sort of trades as Mac or Mark, which will be slightly more aggressive. The strange thing is, any of the aggressive marks that the aggressive trades that Mac marks never fail, ironically. So it's just sit and wait for the market to start to be a little bit clearer, and then just waiting for it. But, you know, I'm going to say when I started trading, I can't tell you how many trades I was taking. 10 or 20 a day, maybe more. But I think the more experience you get, you start to filter the crap out, basically. And the only way you get that is just with trading more and more. More times you get trapped, the more you learn of these areas that you think, oh, I don't like the look of this. I've been done here before, and you stay out of it, and sure enough, it turns into a trap. So you do learn by getting trapped. I used to hate trap. It used to wind the shit out of me. Nothing worse than being outsmarted. But after a while, you start to get to know the areas where you're thinking, I've been here before. You know, I'm not falling for it again. And you start to learn. But when it's doing like this, you know, it's hit and miss. It really is. I have a feeling we're going to make a lot more down. We're going to really come a lot further down today. I'm just thinking how much buying that's happened again and again and again. New high after new high after new high. So, you know, I mean, make this as you will, but I wouldn't be shocked if we eventually come down and make a new low and maybe push down even further. It's just hard to say. But, you know, when you sort of get that gut feeling, it does nothing. I'm going to say my gut is certainly more right than wrong. But that is a bull flag, sort of. So, you know, often, generally, it's a bullish pattern. But at the moment, the NQ is looking completely flipping confusing to me. Is this even more confusing than this? I hate this when it's not clear. It is frustrating. Yeah, no one knows. Mac told us about 2 months ago the market may crash, then it rocket up. Yeah, I do expect a big drop at some point, but yeah, sometimes it is weird though, isn't it? When you see these channels forming and it goes up and you goes up and you're thinking, no, I can't go in here, I can't get in here, we're free quarter, you know, it can't go any further, and you look back and it's gone up another 70 points. So it is weird when you think it can't go any further and it's got to have a pullback. Sometimes it just keeps on going, but you know, obviously you can only really stay out of it because obviously the further it moves in a direction, the more of a sort of, you know, it's a matter of time before we have a break. And it's sod's law that you sit there and watch it, and when you sort of, you know, you find a setup or something, maybe a weak setup because you don't want to miss the move, you end up getting stung. Market's very effective at pissing you off and making your life miserable and taking your money. It really is. But yeah, it is just a matter, you know, sometimes, I mean, the other day I took 3 trades within the space of 20 minutes, Mac marked every one of them. That just doesn't happen you know, it's very rare that happens. You know, you might sit here, you know, and take nothing for a day and maybe one trade and then nothing again. And then all of a sudden you'll get three coming all at once. So it's just having the patience and the discipline just to stay out of the crappy ones. You wait till it's clear, we get a nice leg up, perfect second entry line, perfect 2 legs back, and a beautiful higher low in an uptrend. You can't press your button quick enough for those trades. Yeah, you never really know. You can have a good idea, what the bigger picture is. I mean, as a rule, we get growth, don't we? Price goes up with everything, really, slow growth. But what I will say is I think was it before Christmas, the Fed said they were going to have, was it 2 or 3 rate cuts this year? So that put a lot of air of positivity into things. And we're only really just recovering from COVID. So, the market's been going up and up and up, and it's been nice and positive, and Bitcoin hit $50,000 yesterday. So everything's, people are starting to feel more positive. We're getting slightly brighter nights. We're aiming towards spring. You have that little bit of sort of glimmer of hope that we're finally getting away from COVID now, and the money and your pensions and whatever else money you got sat in stocks and stuff like that. You're thinking things are going to start to get back to normal, and it's been doing a lot of that lately, going up and up and up. But I would expect a decent pullback at some point. But it's all part of a healthy chart, isn't it, that we're getting pullbacks. Sometimes when you're in a trade, the first sign of the market starts to come back, you're sort of panicking, aren't you? But we need these pullbacks. Quicker the market goes up, quicker it comes down otherwise. But there is a possibility that we may end up just doing a bit of rain. It's hard to say, isn't it, really? Trouble is, you put stuff like that in, and it does give you a bit of a bias. I think it may be a bit early to put that in, but I definitely think it's worth putting a top on it all, just to say, okay, this is where we seem to be finding a bit of resistance. So there is a possibility we could be, forming, a top to go sideways for a bit. It's hard to say. But we've pushed up, and we've had 2 legs back, and we've made multiple attempts to go higher, and we've dropped. So it really is hard to know what to do at the moment, and that's the trouble with patience. If your patience starts to go, you tend to sort of squeeze a trade and just overcook it, and it looks like this or it looks like that, and you jump in, and sometimes you can sit there. Some of my stupidest trades have been at the end of some of my most patient days. I've sat here for 3 hours and felt really good about myself, and then you take a trade that's a little bit lame, and you end up getting stung. So what I found is helping my trading as well is just trying to be aware of how I'm feeling. Just almost like a self-check. How am I feeling? Am I a bit impatient? Am I in a rush to get a trade? And just to remind yourself, just to keep that patience going. It is being aware. The trouble is with trading, sometimes you can be almost, you can sort of be almost on autopilot and jump in. I tend to get a little bit too excited. I'm quite a wired person, as most of you guys know by now. So I got this tendency to something just to jump in sometimes. Rather than just, take an extra second or two to think. So there is a possibility of this channel and a break and a second entry short. My only slight concern is you could say we've had a channel and we've had a break and a new high. So we've got another channel now, and it kind of fits, but then we've got an overshoot, which might mean we could either just correct or we could full-blown push up again. So we could have a leg and another leg. So while I'm thinking in the short term, maybe a short here, maybe a second entry short, that overshoot's telling me we could push up. So another reason I like having this NQ chart. If I'm seeing bullish patterns on both and I'm looking for a long on here, I get a nicer feeling about that. If I'm looking to go short here and we've just had an overshoot to the the low side, and I think that may push up, it kind of puts me off a trade here. And in all fairness, it's saved me a few bad trades, and it's actually got me into a few trades, which are good. Wait. Yeah, everyone does it. Everyone does it. I don't like to use the word art a lot, but trading is sort of a bit of an art, isn't it? It's a skill with a little bit of art involved, isn't it? That there's a bit of that natural feeling. There's something I don't like about this, and obviously that instinct and gut feeling. I think that gut feeling comes from being in a position like that in the past. It's almost like if you've ever, you've been to a town or a city once 5 years ago, and you drive through it again and you think something's almost familiar, but you've only ever been there once. Which fell last week, yeah. But the thing is about trading is every time you fail, you're actually improving and you're learning lessons. We don't always take it that way. We take it as a personal attack in a way, don't we, that the market's getting to us. But, I don't get trapped nowhere near the amount of times I used to. And the only way I've learned that is to fail and make those mistakes. But we do see it as like a sort of a personal vendetta against us. Damn it, I've been done again. The unfortunate is, and I think it's true, is everybody trades money too early. Now, if I was, say, my daughter was learning to trade, I would say do not put a penny into it for 18 months. I would say do a year and a half and do not put a penny into it, because you get a little bit of success and you think, I've cracked it. And then the market gets a bit tricky, and you end up getting stung. And then the emotions get into it. So I would say, for any sort of new one, I would say spend a year and a half on a sim and really get to know the chart, really get a feel for what goes on. And then you've got to then go on to the next level where you've got to start introducing some risk, so you can get a feel, because this, trading on a sim, there's no emotions there. There's no risk. The only way you get emotions is with risk. And at some point, you have to, learn that sort of get to that second level of learning to trade, where you need to get those feelings and start to get used to them. But what I will say is, I used to get so pissed off with myself for putting so much money in. But then I look at, someone coming out of school or college and they want to do a 3-year degree to be a teacher. And over in the UK, I think the cheapest university course to do a degree in teaching is about £9,500 to £10,000 per year. Then obviously you've got your books and your fees and all those. So you're talking to do a degree at least £30,000 in the UK, which is about $37,000, $38,000. So, if you're thinking, I'll put $20,000 into it, well, you're putting your money into a career. So what you're doing, the same as your degree, you're paying for an education. But, unlike things with teaching, you could make more money in a month that teachers make in 12 months. So, once you start to crack this, you'll soon get that money back. So, if you are a bit down and frustrated because you keep putting money in it, just think about if you went to university and you'd be paying for a college course, a university degree, it costs you a lot more. You see so many youngsters coming out of university now with £30,000-40,000 worth of debt. So I didn't want to go short here. I had a feeling we were going up. The reason for that is because this channel and the overshoot. So I'd expect a push in the other direction, at least to correct. Maybe up, and then maybe down again, or up and up, and maybe up. So yeah, if you're feeling frustrated about the money, just remember you're investing in yourself, you're investing in your education. You know, you'd never tell a youngster, don't go to university, don't spend that money, would you? No, you wouldn't. So let me have a look at this. There's probably may trap some shorts there. Trouble is, I don't really want to go along there that far from the EMA. Now, is there a bigger channel up there? This. Is there a bigger channel forming there? Like upside was pulled back, maybe. Okay. Let's think about this. So, we've had this big push down from the news, haven't we? Yeah. We've had a break of this. Depends how you look at it. You may even just think about doing that. Big push down break. It's like Fibonacci retracement. Yeah, we got a bit to go in that case, haven't we? It does seem to me we've had this initial push, very steep down, then not quite so steep, then it starts to feather out, and then we sort of get a bit of bottom in with a new low, up, sideways, up. So I would say I'm probably expecting to go up a bit more. Now, looking on the NQ, we've had that overshoot, so I think we're going to push up, maybe come down and test, and then push up some more. That is my gut feeling. We do seem to be slowly working up now, so I would say personally I'm probably now maybe thinking about longs. We push up. We've tested this area a bunch of times. We've broken above it a little bit. We've come back in. We're above it now. It looks like we may be testing the tops. So I would say as long as I'm getting the same feeling from the NQ, I'll be probably thinking about looking for longs. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be 1 minute. Okay, interesting. 1, 2, 3. You could call that a triple test, couldn't you? Just being a bit cautious just at the moment. We could have a leg and a leg. Okay, so quickly look at the 4,000 tick chart. We got a leg up. We've broken above this. We've come back in and pushed up again. So for me, after that push down, break new low, I think there's a chance we're going to move up now. It's starting to look that way. The NQ, something similar. We had that big steep push down, then something like this, then a break, 2 pushes down, and we do seem to be working up. So we got a touch here. Looks like we may do the same. An overshoot, push up, retest this line. I'd say there's a good chance we're going to move up. So I would say, as long as all the stars align, I'll be looking for longs. So I'd like to maybe come down to this area, maybe. We'll see. I ain't getting involved here anyway. Too weak. It's away from the EMA. I'd want it to drop below there and sit on top of that, really. So we're coming down to that line on the NQ. Let's see how we react. Okay, possible second entry long. Not a fan at the moment. I'll be waiting for a higher low, because at the moment, if we're looking at the same sort of channel, we've had a break of it. Now, as we know, overshoot often we get a pullback and we try and retest the lows. So I just wouldn't be thinking about going long here just at the moment unless we've had a leg and we're going to work up. So I just have to sit tight here. You don't know whether there is a bigger range. There's certainly some support. You don't know whether we've just broken out of it and now we're going to come in and just test the underside. So I'm waiting so we get a little bit further up before I think about getting into a trade. It is a second entry long, but I'm just sitting tight. Yeah, that's why I'm not going long here just yet. It's just a bit unclear what's going on here at the moment, whether we're going to come down or whether we're going to push up. I mean, obviously the ES at the moment is just that little bit of a push up, but we're below the EMA. So after the overshoot, a lot of times we'll do this. We'll pull back, we'll make another attempt to go low, and then we'll pull up. But at the moment, I'm not ready to go long on the NQ, so I'm not ready to go long on the ES, although it would have worked for 2 points and 2 points plus. There is just a little bit of congestion here. I'm just sitting tight. If we can get a high-low as we're moving up, then I may think about. But at the moment, I'm just not 100% confident that we are definitely going up. I mean, don't get me wrong, the 10,000, I don't know what I call the 4,000, 10,000 tick chart. We've got this channel down break, 2 pushes down to a new low, leg up, break, new high, a little bit of sideways. I like what that's doing. So I think there's a good chance we're going up on that channel there. But until we get above the EMA on the NQ, I'm not getting involved because we've got a leg down. If we have 2 pushes up and we drop again, this thing will turn tail. So while I've got conflicting pictures at the moment, traders, please help me to add ATR and lag indicator on the right side. Kanan, how you doing? The trouble with these, they're from Mac, so I don't know whether you're a member of Mac's price action trading system. These come from Mac at priceactiontradingsystem.com. So if you join, you've got to be a member to join his sort of band of merry men. It's $125 a year. where he'll teach you price action, but these are part of it. The ATR and the lag and these tools. Now, I don't know whether there's a way of getting the ATR in the indicators in here. I've never used it. I've always had it on here, see, so lag, I'm not so sure. So maybe someone else can pop a comment down there and give you a little bit of advice. Okay, so at the moment, I'm not thinking about going long now. That's triggered. If it pushes up above that, I'd say, yeah, then maybe we are. But at the moment, channel down, we've back up there. Oh, you just don't know, do you? So we got a leg down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. It could come down. I got no idea at the moment. It's just, this is, it's just not very clear at the moment. I'd like to see it push up above there, in which case I would think there is a chance we could go higher, but at the moment I'm just sitting tight. We need to get back to this level, really. It does look like a two-tiered channel, working the top tier. We'll come down and work in this bottom tier, so I'd like to come down there to this level. Yeah, so that's why I wasn't ready to go long at the moment. We've got a channel down there, break. It is actually a second entry short there. We've got one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, so this could come down maybe for another leg, or it just could make an attempt at a new low. I just don't know what's going on here at the moment. I did have that like that. It could be like that. There's no reason why not. It's just not super clear at the moment. There is a second entry long, but I just don't like this at the moment. It's a bit sideways. Could sting you and come back to this area. We've got a bit of a vacant area here, which could do with filling. And looking on the NQ as well, same again, it's just sideways. Channel break, it's hard to say. Ooh.
Order filled.
I like that. I like the way that's reacted off there. Second entry long off the key entry point. Touch, 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 touch. I'm just going to get out for 6 ticks here. Go on, push through. Ooh. I don't like this. Oh, there is a higher low, so that's something. Uh, hmm. I don't like this. Oh, coming out for break even here.
Target filled.
Yeah, something I don't like about that. Out for break even. What I was seeing when I took that is this bearish bar that triggered and started to rush up, which I liked. Now, it may work, and at the time, this bar as well, we just made a new low. So after the break, a new low. So I just don't like when it does this. So it may work. But I'd just rather come out there break even. You just don't know. It's been a funny old day today. It may work, but I'm not prepared to risk it. At the moment, I don't like the trade as it is. So I'm out of it. Maybe we get a failure. We'll see. So I might as well just bin that one. On my chart, I had a doji bar in your entry. Yeah. I mean, you can call that hidden second entry long. It probably work. I might as well just bin that because I was in and out of it for break even. So it's probably going to work, but it just started to look a bit negative on the NQ. And I think if you've got any doubts, sometimes you're better off just to get out of it. So it would have worked anyway. So if we get a bearish bar that triggers, maybe we'll get a failure. But it does seem to be working in that channel. It's a doji bar, your entry bar, yeah. And we got the little channel up. We came back and retested that multiple times. So you just don't know with these trades. When we got that bearish bar there, I just thought, because for me at the moment, the NQ is still just looking a bit confusing. It's confusing. And when we seem to be struggling there, I don't know. I just don't understand what's going on the NQ, in all fairness. I don't know. I got no bloody idea. It's just not making any sense to me. This isn't really. Maybe it's like that. I don't flipping know. It's just not clear. And while I got mixed feelings, it could have just rushed down. You don't know. There is going to be maybe a bit of resistance there. It's a tough day, actually. It's just not very clear. Trouble is, it's push up, bit of sideways, push up, bit of sideways, push up, bit of sideways. And the NQ is just looking completely flipping confusing. It's a bit sideways, so it could rock it up. It just could go sideways. Flipping, who knows? When it's doing this and it's slowing it up a bit, any time it could just come down. See, there's a new low there. It's technically a failure, although it's an inside bar and it's triggered you. It's when it's weak like this, it could just come down and take you out so easy. You have to just wait for really solid entries. Sometimes just the fact that the trends, going up will help you out. But just positions like this just strike me as weak. And weak positions just seem to get taken out. They really do. This is probably not a terrible trade. We've had a break and a matching high there. It's a bit sideways and a bit congested. I got into it, and when it started to give me that, I wanted to get out for break even. I'm just not confident. It's slow. Although it is going up, it's not doing it in a nice manner. In all fairness, it's not playing a fair game today. So I just don't want to get stuck. Once the trade started, this to go a bit sideways, I'd rather just get out. The fact that it made the points it's irrelevant to me. If it starts to go sideways and I start to think at some point, would I get in this trade now? And if the answer's no, I'll just try and get out of it. And when it started doing that, it pushed up once, twice. When that went up and hit that sort of level and came down bearish, and that happened there, you don't know whether we're going to have a leg with a pullback and another leg, and it's going to come down here. So the fact that it worked is by the by, really. I'm quite happy to get out and not really lose anything. No, it's not a pleasant day today, is it? God, this is frustrating. Okay, I'm going to make myself another cup of coffee. Just going to take a quick couple of minutes. Quick cup of coffee. Just while it's doing this, I'm pretty sure when I get back it'll still be the same. So a quick cuppa and I'll be back. Okay. Uh, I wonder. I wonder if we got something like that. It's just not clear, really, is it? It's quite a hard day to work out what's going on. I think if we come down and bounce off here, I'd say it's probably like a spike in a channel. Maybe it's from here. It fits along the top really nice, actually. It would make sense. See what happens. Horrible day to mark a chart. See on the NQ, it looks like a sharp channel up. A bit of a channel down. That just looks like a bit of a bull flag, so we could go to the leg up, push up, 1, 2 attempts to go there. I just don't know at the moment. I've just got real conflicting. This sort of seems like it's working in a maybe a spike in a channel. Funny all day. It's quite hard to trade. See if we get a reaction from here. That's positive. It's very hard to read today, it really is. Okay, so there is a possibility there. Trouble is, it may only get back to the EMA before it does something else. I'm still not massively convinced. I mean, this looks like it's going up a bit. The NQ looks sort of opposite. The 10,000 tick chart sort of obviously the same as this. Touch. God knows. This is ridiculous, isn't it? What a horrible day. I think I preferred yesterday. I got no idea. Not a flipping clue. Such a hard day to trade today. See if I bring that down like that. It's missing there. I don't like it. I have a feeling that this just may be a range day. Come off it, will you? If you're a pattern trader, this looks like a Head and Shoulders. And about the shoulder ahead, we've got to get another shoulder, haven't we? So 2 legs up to about here. Yeah, they're pretty accurate though. Have we just got a drawing tool, have we? A freehand drawing tool here. Okay. So, let's say a shoulder there. Head there. And a shoulder. And about something like that. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Or you're on about smaller, shoulder, head, shoulder. Yeah. I do look for those because they, a lot of people will trade them. And I suppose one of the beauties about if we do get a break here and a couple of legs up, there's your other shoulder coming down to, well, at least the midline. Shoulder, head, shoulder. See if we can get a break here, a couple of legs up, and then maybe down. I think it's just confusing, to be fair. So with that big push down, it does look like 2 legs down to this area, leg up, break, leg up. We've hit a bunch of times. We seem to be coming down. So I'd say it's probably more just going sideways. So I suppose looking for shorts. Trouble is, at the moment, it does seem kind of bearish here, but I'd want to get back here before I started looking for shorts. Hence, a break with 2 legs up, which would give you sort of the other shoulder. I mean, if you're going to go short here and it did fall into that pattern, there's no reason why it can't help, sort of mould your decision, really. It's a funny old day. And on the NQ, channel break new high, we've got a leg. It has come down and touched on that bottom, so if we can get a bit of a pullback here. This looks even more flipping confusing, this does. So let's maybe say, that's all we got really at the moment. I've tried multiple times to get sort of bigger channels. And the trouble is, if you concentrate too much, that you'll be looking for longs. When in all fairness, we're clearly just really going sideways. So obviously we want to be short and coming down and going long, going up. But we need a bit of a break. Oh, excuse me. God, it's so damn slow, isn't it, today? I mean, we've had some, mind you, a lot of it was just quick, wasn't it? It is just very slow and grinding. There is some support around here, so I'd be interested to see what it does. It's holding there a touch. We get a break here. Do we really want to go short into that lot? See, depends how you see this. I don't know how you guys see this as a channel, or maybe just maybe a couple of legs, and maybe there's something bigger there. Maybe it's just like that, which means it could just come down. Depends what you think about that, really. Leg down, 1, 2, 3 attempts. So probably just is a bigger channel, that, in which case there's a fair chance it could just come down. So maybe something like that. So we need a break, really. If we can get a decent break, we may get a bit lower. We'll see. Excuse me, sat here yawning. Was it the Super Bowl last night, was it? I'm pretty sure I watched a little bit of it. Did they have some extra time? I'm sure I got up in the early hours of the morning and I couldn't sleep. And I switched it on. It's San Francisco and what's they call it? Kansas. I haven't followed. I don't tend to. Yeah, it was, yeah. Was it, I don't know, was it 19 each? Oh, no, I'm thinking about the rugby. I was thinking about the rugby. San Francisco won it, didn't they? I think just. That's a complicated game to understand what the hell's going on, that is. Oh, they did. Kansas. I got you. Yeah. I remember the first one I ever watched. When was I? I was about 15 at the in overtime. Yeah, it was about 15 at the time. It was the Chicago Bears. It was in around about 1985. It was the Chicago. Was it the Chicago Bears? Was it the Giants? I think it was the Bears and the Giants. Oh, got you. Yeah, it was 1984, 85, 85, I think. Bears, yeah. 85, that was it. Yeah, was it that one the Fridge was playing? Was it? Was the Fridge? They call him the Fridge? That was going back some years. Yeah, that's it. Dan Marino sort of era, wasn't it? I used to watch a little bit when I was younger. It was quite pop. Went for a phase. That's it. That's him. It went for a phase in the sort of 80s where it sort of got really big and popular in the UK. I know that the UK do play well, not as a country, like as a. They do have some teams over in the UK, but I just found it a complicated game that seems to sort of take forever, doesn't it? Mind you, I think as sports, I think we've got the longest cricket. I don't think there's a game as long as cricket, really, especially for one game. You play a test match, it can go on for 5 days. But no, I found it a complicated game. Mind you, I find rugby a complicated game, and I'm from the UK. William the Refrigerator Perry. Show me age now. I suppose a lot of you weren't born then, were you? 85? Right, now, my concern about going short is this. Touch. Nope. I'm 54, I am. So I'd have been 16 then. 16, yeah, 15, 16. I was over in Northern Ireland at the time. My stepfather was in the army and we were over there. I remember watching in the military naffy. So, I would say, looking at the NQ, there's no reason why that can't come down further. So I wouldn't have an issue with taking a short around here, obviously given the right setup. My concern is going short into that, but we haven't really got that on the NQ. So if we get a decent enough setup, a really nice, good quality lower high, I may take a short, but it's going to have to be an absolute perler, otherwise I'm staying out of it. So I do like that channel. We've touched 3 times there. We've touched nice there. Fits are nice along the backside, so that's a clear break. But we have got this area where it's bounced. It bounced there, so it could trap you going short. So it would have to be an absolute corker of a trade, really, to get me interested. Okay, let's see what happens now. I'm just going to open up a
Order
shop just in
submitted.
case. This is going to have to go a bit further down for me. I ain't getting involved if it stays like that. I want it to go a bit further and get out of this bit of congestion. Uh,
Order filled.
hmm. Let's go there, I think. Long session, yeah, I'm about done in a minute, I think. Hmm.
Target filled.
Okay, super duper. That's what we wanted. Finally. So, already got one. So, lower high. Finally, we got one. So, lower high and 2 points. Plus 2 points. Excellent. Yeah, ATEC, how you doing? Yeah. What time is it? I usually do around about 3 hours. That's sort of where I like to cut off, around about 5:30 UK time. What was I saying? So yeah, it depends. I mean, if I can get a couple of trades in within 2 hours, I'll finish early. What I've tried to do is, if I can get some early trades in, just finish a bit early. Just give yourself a little bit more time. So we may get to continue down. Yeah, my only slight niggle with that was because of a bit of support there. But in all fairness, I just think it's reacting to the midline. And another reason why I didn't mind taking it is there's nothing really stopping that from coming down, really. There's a bit of resistance there, but I'd expect probably a little bit more of a pullback and then down some more. So there wasn't anything specifically here, because what I ever do when I take a trade now, I always look left and just check if I'm going into support. And there wasn't really on there. And there was a bit, but it's only, we bounced on the way up and we bounced on the way down and we've come back. The thing is, if we do have a break and we get a good enough signal bar, people will buy it, or people will sell it rather. And it's a tiny bit congested, but only a tiny bit. But what I liked is it closed below this area here. There's a little bit of, you could have said a little bit of resistance there. If that would have closed there, I wouldn't have taken it. But the fact that it closed below, I was okay with. So patience works out. Patience works out in the end. If you sit patient enough, you'll get a trade. I wouldn't be surprised if that comes down a tad more. But I got the trade. So that's a good start. So as you can see, I'm trading 1 on 1 contract and 1 on 2 contracts. Now, if I lose one trade, if I lose a trade, what I shall do then is forget the 2.1. The most I'll lose on the 2.1 is 1 trade. What I'll do then is go on to this one. So less risk. I don't mind trading again after a loss if it doesn't affect me, and the only way it doesn't affect me is to reduce the risk. So by having 1 at 1 contract and 1 at 2 contract, if I happen to lose a trade, I'll move back onto this the lower PA. Obviously a lot lower loss and a lot less stress. So there you go. So that's it for today. We've done just a fraction over 3 hours. So really funny day, hard to read. Sometimes you just got to sit back, but I was sort of, you guys see me spend blooming ages thinking after this initial push up, then a little bit less steep and then flattened out a little bit. I did get the impression that we were likely to sort of, recover a lot of this, but then we seem to bounce on an area here, strong push down, pretty nice, push down, a little bit of sideways push down, and then nice lower high there. But it does look like it's just going sideways, a couple of legs down, a couple of legs up, a couple of legs down. So that's my take on it today. I don't know if you guys got it the same. That's why I enjoy looking at Mac's chart later and some of the other guys on the Facebook group to see how they read it, because it was hard at times to figure out exactly what was going on. But I think in all fairness, my take is it's probably just ranging after that initial drop from the news. So that is it for today. So we've just hit 5:30 UK time, so I appreciate your comments. Been a bit quiet. Some days I have days where I don't shut up, other days I have days where I'm quite quiet. I suppose it depends what I've got to say. Nice Nice patience, nice trade. Yeah, I like that. We've got a nice channel. It fits really nice, that does, and we've had a bit of an area where we've bounced. So I went for 2 points, didn't I? So where did I go about here? So there's 2 points. So you're comfortably out before the lows anyway, but I had a feeling that we were going to push a bit low. I still think we're going to come a bit lower. It's hard to say, but leg down, push up, break. I don't know. I always said personally I would have thought it would have come down some more, but you just don't know, do you? Maybe there's something bigger there. That would make sense, wouldn't it? But you never quite know. It's irrelevant anyway. The bit that's important was we got to push enough down there to make and get your points, and we clearly did that anyway. So happy days. What it does next is by the by, really. But you can see that support there. So I wanted to just get out before those lows. So there you go. So that's me done for today. I appreciate your comments. I hope you've had a green day. Always nice for us to finish the day green. So I'll be back same time tomorrow, Wednesday. Halfway through another week already. I think it's 2 weeks on Friday. We're into March. Unbelievable. It really doesn't seem 5 minutes since we left Christmas behind us. But there you go. So if you're carrying on trading, best of luck. I hope you get out of this bloody range and get a decent setup. But failing that, have a great evening. Stay safe. And we'll meet up again tomorrow and do it all over again. So have a great evening. Bye for now.